Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 9 p.m. English News Edition brought to you live from RTD channel. The top stories of tonight are: the President of the Republic is attending the 80th United Nations General Assembly held in New York. On the international scene, several countries have voiced new diplomatic support for Palestine at the UN. Welcome back in our newsroom. Djibouti's president at UN General Assembly calls for a global financial reform and Palestinian state recognition. President Ismail Omar Guelleh is participating in the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly held in New York. The head of state arrived yesterday evening, Sunday, and will deliver several important messages to the international community. And upon his arrival at the airport, he was warmly welcomed by Djibouti's ambassador to the United States. In his speech to the General Assembly, President Guelleh will advocate for the preservation of the international system, which has proven to be an active and effective tool for a multilateral cooperation serving all nations. He will reaffirm the lasting relevance of the United Nations system and its charter, which for 80 years has provided the ethical, legal and guiding framework for international relations. One of the main topics he will address is the reform of the global financial reform. In this context, the President will express his support for the recommendations of the Charter for the Future report launched by the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. He will call for a review of international financing mechanism to better align with today's economic realities and the financial constraints faced by countries, particularly in Africa. His speech will also highlight the gap between outdated measures from 8 decades ago and the current challenges hindering the development of global South countries. Finally, President Guelleh will make a formal appeal to the international community to recognize a sovereign Palestinian state. He will go beyond the mere recognition by advocating for concrete negotiations to establish the state fully in accordance with the United Nations Charter. This initiative, let's recall, reflects the ongoing commitment of the President of the Republic, known both continentally and internationally as a peacemaker and a promoter of conflict resolution through dialogue. And this statement now from the President of the Republic of Djibouti on the 80th anniversary of the United Nations. Today, President Ismail Omar Guelleh took part in a high-level meeting marking the 80th anniversary of the United Nations alongside world leaders and the UN Secretary General. In his speech, President Guelleh recalled the original promise of the UN Charter to prevent war and promote freedom and social progress. While few African nations were represented in 1945, he noted that all have since embraced the UN's founding ideals. Reflecting on 8 decades of progress, he praised the UN Charter as a guiding force in facing global challenges like climate change, poverty, and threats to peace. He welcomed reforms led by the Secretary General to make a multilateral cooperation more inclusive and effective. However, the President of the Republic warned of growing threats to international cooperation, including rising nationalism, bloc politics, and reduced trust between nations. He noted that such trends pose a risk to global solidarity. President Guelleh called for a renewed inclusive multilateralism, where all countries, regardless of size or power, have their voice heard. He emphasized the need to uphold international law and secure a new funding for sustainable development, peace, and climate justice. He concluded by urging the international community not to lose hope, but to rebuild trust and revive the spirit of unity that founded the UN. Djibouti he affirmed he remains fully committed to a fairer, more peaceful world. And on the sidelines of the high-level meetings of the UN General Assembly in New York, Djibouti's ambassador to the United States, Mohammed Ziad Douale, expressed in an interview his sincere appreciation for the warm welcome and outstanding organization extended by the United Nations to the Djiboutian delegation led by President Ismail Omar Guelleh. In an exclusive interview, the ambassador also underscored the significance of the 80th anniversary of the UN Charter, highlighting its enduring relevance in promoting peace, multilateralism, and international cooperation. He said that the high-level week taking place in New York starting September 22nd marks a historic moment for the international community. He then explained that the theme Better Together 80 years and beyond for peace, development, and human rights reflect the continued relevance of multilateralism in a time of mounting global crisis. According to Ambassador Douale, the anniversary is more than a symbolic event. It is an opportunity to renew global commitment to peace, sustainable development, and human rights. The ambassador emphasized the need to uphold the UN Charter and work collectively to advance the sustainable development goals. He also noted the significance of commemorating the 30th anniversary of the Beijing Women's Conference, which he said remains a milestone in the global pursuit of gender equality. Addressing the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, the ambassador of Djibouti to the United States supported the upcoming dedicated conference on Palestine and reiterated the country's long-standing position in favor of a two-solution. In his interview, he said that the event is an important platform for promoting a peaceful and a just resolution. He also commented on the organizational reforms announced by UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, including the relocation of payroll services and the vacating of two leased buildings in New York. Ambassador Mohammed Ziad Douale did not fail to welcome this change, describing them as a step toward greater efficiency and accountability within the UN system. Now, let's talk about the international recognition of Palestine. Belgium joins UK, Canada, Australia, and Portugal despite Israeli and US criticism in what Palestinian UN Ambassador Riyad Mansour has called a historic moment. Belgium is expected to announce its recognition of the State of Palestine this Monday. This move follows official recognitions made yesterday by the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and Portugal, marking a major shift in the stand of countries long considered close allies of Israel. The announcement comes nearly 2 years after the war in Gaza began. The decision has triggered strong reaction in Israel. Prime Minister Netanyahu has released a video message Sunday to leaders in the UK, Australia, and Canada, stating there will be no Palestinian state, and warning that such a move threatens Israel's very existence. The United States also criticized the recognition, calling it symbolic. At the opening of the 80th UN General Assembly in New York, several countries, including France, have officially recognized the State of Palestine, bringing the total to 152 UN member states. This diplomatic shift is seen as a major step forward. Israel and US strongly oppose the move, calling it dangerous. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu responded by threatening further settlement expansion in the West Bank, while the humanitarian crisis in Gaza continues to worsen. France and Saudi Arabia are co-hosting a high-level summit on Palestine to revive peace efforts. Observers warn, however, that without concrete action, recognition risks remaining purely symbolic. Moving on now to Qatar, where Djibouti and Qatar strengthen ties in telecommunication. During his official visit to Doha, Djibouti's Minister of Communication Radwan Abdullahi Bahdoun met with Qatar's Minister of Communication Mohammed Al Manai to boost bilateral cooperation in the telecom sector. Accompanied by Aden Abdi Jama, Director General of Djibouti's National Radio and Television, and Tayyip Dubad Roble, Djibouti's Ambassador to Qatar, the Minister reiterated Djibouti's dedication to enhancing strategic telecommunication cooperation with Qatar. The two sides discussed expanding their partnership through knowledge sharing, technology transfer, and joint digital initiatives. We come back now to the capital just hours after an armed robbery at a local bank. The National Police successfully arrested the suspect, seized the weapon used in the attack, and recovered the entire stolen amount, a total of 14 million Djibouti francs. The swift and efficient operation demonstrated the professionalism, experience, and dedication of the National Police forces in protecting both citizens and property. It also reaffirmed the security services' ongoing commitment to maintaining peace and stability. In a statement, Colonel Hassan Omar Hassan, a director of public security at the National Police, emphasized the police dedication to ensuring the safety of citizens and the protection of public and private property. He noted that while this case was exceptional, it clearly reflects the high level of professionalism and continued effort of the National Police. Colonel Omar Hassan stated that the police officer on patrol had informed headquarters of an armed robbery at a bank located in a commercial center. According to him, authorities immediately arrived at the scene to begin a fully investigation. Preliminary findings, he reported, revealed that two persons, one of them armed with a firearm, had entered the bank with the intention of stealing cash. When the cashier resisted, one of the suspects fired a shot that pierced the glass at the counter. Under trade, the two persons were able to seize an estimated amount of 14 million Djibouti francs. Colonel Hassan Omar added that the suspect had placed the stolen money into a backpack, which one of them was already carrying, indicating that the crime had been planned. He confirmed that all units of the National Police were mobilized immediately to track down and apprehend the suspect. Thanks to the relentless effort of the investigators, the first suspect was arrested the same day at 6:50 p.m. and the second one was taken into custody just 1 hour later. The weapon used during the robbery, he said, was also recovered, and the entire stolen amount was recovered. Warm welcome for the laureate of the School of Excellence. Yesterday, the laureates of the School of Excellence returned triumphantly to their homeland after shining at the International Olympiad on climate change and environmental issues held in Cyrus, Russia. They were warmly received by senior officials from the Ministry of Education and their families, marking a memorable and emotional moment from September 13 to 17, 2025. Our delegation proudly represented Djibouti, competing against well-known participants from countries such as Ethiopia, Qatar, Costa Rica, India, Bangladesh, Belarus, Russia, Pakistan, and Myanmar. At the end of this demanding competition, the team won a silver medal awarded to student Mahyoub Ilyas, along with 6 bronze medals. This outstanding success not only highlights the excellence of education in Djibouti, but also reflects the unwavering dedication of the teachers who support our youth. The event, conducted entirely in English, allowed our students to demonstrate their ability to compete with the world's best talent in advanced scientific disciplines. And still with the national news, APEPS launched preparation for National Sport and Health for All Day. On Sunday, September 21st, 2025, the steering committee of APEPS held its kickoff meeting to prepare for the upcoming National Sport and Health for All Day schedule for the late October 2025. This event will be organized in partnership with the Ministry of National Education and the Ministry of Health. The initiative aims to promote the benefits of physical activity for the well-being and health of all citizens. Representatives from both ministries discussed various physical activities and awareness workshops to be implemented, recognizing schools as central community hubs involving students, parents, and associations. It was decided that schools will serve as the primary venues. Citizens aged 7 to 77 living near each school will be invited to participate. And now here is a report on the partnership between the public and private sectors in the country. Let's watch this video.
In today's global economy, one truth stands out. Resources are limited and increasingly so due to the global economic situation, and mobilizing them has become a difficult art. In this context, public-private partnership emerges as a bold and pragmatic response. So what exactly is a public-private partnership? Known by its short name Triple P. It is a mode of collaboration between the state and a private company to jointly finance, build, and manage a public interest project, such as road, a port, or a power plant, by sharing costs, risks, and benefits. It is not just a legal framework, it is a vision to bring together two complementary forces, the public authority and entrepreneurial energy. Triple P is first and foremost a mission to give the state the means to protect the public interest while relying on the expertise, innovation, and efficiency of the private sector. It is about pooling resources, sharing risks, and building together what no single actor could accomplish alone. In Djibouti, this approach takes on a particular significance. As a crossroads nation open to global trade, Djibouti sees Triple P as a strategic lever. It is through this mechanism that the Grand Barra solar project, the country's first large-scale renewable energy plant, came to life. It is also through Triple Ps that the modernization of our ports and logistics corridors continues to accelerate, strengthening our position as a regional hub. Because in an era of intensifying global competition, where every country seeks to turn scarcity into opportunity, Triple Peace becomes a balancing tool. It's not just about building visible infrastructure, bridges, roads, port terminals, but about preparing for the future, creating jobs, guaranteeing quality services, and ensuring sustainable development. Ultimately, the public-private partnership is a pact of trust. It is a commitment where the state and the private sector agree to move forward together with shared purpose. A bet on the future driven by simple conviction, the alliance of forces is always stronger than isolation. In the turbulence of an uncertain global economy, Djibouti has made its choice. Triple P is not just an option, it is the path to transform our constraints into opportunities and to lay, stone by stone, the foundation of an ambitious and sustainable development.
And as part of the International Day of Peace, celebrated every year on September 21st, a special cultural event was held yesterday at the National Theatre of Saline. The event brought together a large and diverse audience around the values of peace, unity, and cultural diversity. Under the theme of fraternity and social cohesion, the evening featured young talents, well-known artists, and key figures from the national music scene, all performing in a warm and festive atmosphere. The emotional and powerful performances carried a clear message building a shared future through peace. The event was notably attended by the Director General for the National Agency for the Promotion of Culture, along with several senior officials, giving strong institutional support to the citizens-driven initiative. The colorful and diverse program highlighted the richness of national cultural expression, from singing and dancing to both traditional and modern music, all united by a common call for peace and unity. Customs and police seize contraband alcohol in Al Sabih region. In an ongoing effort to combat smuggling and drug trafficking, the Al Sabih Customs Brigade, working alongside regional police forces, made a significant seizure over the weekend during a routine road control on a key transit route. The joint forces seized a truck coming from Ethiopia, carrying 10 cartons of Ethiopian-produced gin. The truck driver, suspected of active involvement in the smuggling attempt, was immediately arrested and placed in police custody. Turning now to the regional and international scene, Kenya shines at 2025 World Athletic Championship. Kenya delivered a stellar performance at the 2025 World Athletic Championship, winning 7 gold, 2 silver, and 2 bronze medals, reaffirming its global dominance in long distance and marathon event. Highlights included gold medals from Beatrice Chebet, Faith Kipyegon, Perez Shepshire, Emmanuel Wanyonyi, and Lilian Odira. Chebet and Kipyegon also added silver in the 5,000 meter. Experts credit Kenya's success to sustain investment in youth training. Kenya remains a powerhouse in athletics, with its stars continuing to inspire on the world stage. Let's talk now climate change, which puts global water resources at risk. The World Meteorological Organization warns that climate change is putting increasing pressure on global water resources, threatening lives and livelihood. In its latest report, the WMO confirms 2024 as the hottest year on record, with the global temperatures 1.455 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. His warming is intensifying evaporation and extreme weather events, including floods and drought. And finally, most Atlantic coral reefs could disappear by 2040, study warns. A new Nature study warns that over 70% of Atlantic coral reefs will stop growing by 2040 due to the rising ocean temperatures, even under optimistic emission reduction scenarios. If warming exceeds 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, up to 99% could collapse by century's end. Coral reefs support marine biodiversity and protect coastal communities, but scientists say a rapid warming is outpacing coral adaptation. That's it for tonight's news. Thanks for being with us and have a good night.